Tony is an ex-cop who wanted to start a charity helping first responders. Well, that's what he told Neta, a retiree and Vietnam vet, before she funded it.
My name's Tony Dowling. I'm the CEO and founding director of Why Not Try.
Tony Dowling, this is Neta. Could you please come to the door?
Why Not Try is a not-for-profit which I've set up to help first responders.
$66,000 from my retirement money.
Former Victoria Police officer Tony Dowling promoted a cause close to many of his ex-colleagues' hearts, and he says his own.
I was lucky enough to be a qualified landscaper before I went into the job. When I wanted to leave after 8 years, I could fall back on that trade.
That's when Tony crossed paths with Melbourne retiree Neta Falazzo.
I was making my house very user-friendly as I get older. He came round, gave me a quote, seemed very reasonable.
Whilst working on her backyard, Tony shared his charity idea to help first responders with post-traumatic stress disorder. Having been in the army during the Vietnam War, it struck a chord with Neta.
I was really sold on the idea. I thought, yeah, these people need help. We don't do enough for them. So, yeah, I sort of said, well, what do you need? I offered the financial help.
From there, the grandmother says she did all the legwork, paying for lawyers to register the charity in March and becoming a director.
I've put into the charity over $66,000. I have paid for animals that are on the property. I've paid for his rent. I have paid for petrol. I have paid all the legal costs.
I'm now offering a physical address that members and their families can come to and not only experience the healing power of plants, but also animals, rehabilitation.
This is the place Tony's talking about, a semi-rural property in Tarneet, west of Melbourne. From the outside, it doesn't quite live up to that dreamy description.
He's got a very smooth tongue.
Neta sent Tony this spreadsheet detailing every dollar she says she's spent on the charity and supporting Tony.
He stopped working. He had no income, no money to pay the rent, no money to pay his bills, so then I was supporting him as well.
Neta claims everything she paid was a loan.
Every time I paid for something, Tony would say, you'll get it all back, you'll get it all back.
And did you ever see a cent?
No, not one. He owes me $66,564.
Neta says she's paid for a new $450 fridge, transferred $2,000 for Tony's bills, another $500, then $1,500 and $5,000 to foot more of Tony's bills, a new mattress, and the list goes on.
And in the end, I said, I can't afford this anymore, Tony. He came round here on a Saturday. He said, look, I'm flat broke. I'm down to my last, $100. I said, oh, okay. He said, I've got 2 invoices I haven't given you yet. I said, oh, okay. Well, this is going to have to be the last one.
Even with the cash, Tony thought she wouldn't have receipts for that, but she's got bank statements showing cash withdrawals.
Stan Daniels is the charity's other director and Neta's accountant.
He was trying to say to me, I'm taking her side, so you can't deal with me. And I said, I'm not taking anyone's side, Tony. It's just a question. The charity incurs expenses. The charity's got to repay expenses.
He came back to me in early June and offered me $40,000.
This amount will be paid over the course of 3 years in equal instalments with no interest incurred.
I said no. It's not been accepted.
I know you're in there.
Standing on the doorstep of their own charity's address, Neta and Stan were ignored.
What you did to me is absolutely disgraceful. You should be ashamed of yourself. I feel devastated and quite disgusted. He's supposed to be an adult man.
Do you want me to try?
Please, be my guest.
Tony, Alexis Daish from A Current Affair. Could you please come to the door?
Evidently, someone was home because police turned up.
From what it sounds like, seems like it's probably a civil dispute.
After police left here, Tony asked myself and the ACA crew to come inside without a camera. The ex-policeman strongly denied Neta's version of events, claiming many of the expenses were gifts, including clothing and alcohol. He also suggested Neta has a crush on him, and that's why she was generous with her money.
When you lend someone money and they say to you continually, you're going to get the money back, that's not a gift.
By virtue of this charity venture, Neta is now going without.
My whole life has changed because of this. He knew how I felt about people with PTSD. He's seen me cry when I've remembered things when I was in the army.
So the bottom line is you're not going away.
I'm not going away, no.
Well, it sounds like Tony's not going away either. In a letter from his lawyers, he insisted there was no loan and that everything Neta paid was a gift.